So job interviewing, we've all had to do it. It can be stressful. And prepping is, how do you prep for going to an interview when you don't know what the hell they're going to ask you? You should know the technical information that you have to answer, but these behavioral questions that they have these days, holy Moses. Um, so this past year, being unemployed, I needed to be as ready as possible because getting interviews just to begin with was difficult. So I wanted to be as prepared as possible without knowing what was going to happen, which calms me down. So how did I accomplish that without knowing what these people were going to ask me? Hello, moin moin. My name is Crystal. I'm going to give you my tips on what helped me, and I get nervous very easily. So if it helped me, it should help you. The very first thing over anything else, I guarantee you they're going to ask you to tell them about yourself. They don't want to know what you do in your garden during the summer or how you like to take long strolls on the beach. That doesn't matter to them. They are asking you to sell yourself. You're going to ask that at the beginning of the interview, so this is your chance. You get free reign. It's an open question. Take this seriously. Assume that you're not the only person being interviewed. Don't assume. You can bet that you're not the only person being interviewed. You can also bet that the other people interviewing are at least your same skills level. So you have to stand out. Write down information about yourself. Go through your resume. They wouldn't have memorized that. They might not even have read the damn thing. So you want to prepare some key points and don't just rattle it off. Practice a minute or two on explaining what you've been doing the last couple of years that makes you special. What are your skills that you bring to the table? You should know a little bit about what the job description is. How are you going to make it better for that employer? If they mention a lot about being organized, then you want to make sure you weave that into your story. You want to relay personality, and hopefully it's the personality that they're going to mesh with. So keep that all in mind. That's a big one. Tell me about yourself is a huge, huge item, and that is something that you should work on. There are a ton of YouTube videos out there that specifically talk about honing in your information for that and making it the best it can be. Get that perfected. And I will tell you that when you're in this interview, the first minute or two can be what sets you for the rest of it. If they're engaged from the start, they might continue to be. If you knock them out in that first minute or two, then you might not get them back. So, not to put pressure on you, but that's a big one. The next thing, this is the big one that helped me. If you look through the behavioral questions, at the essence, they want to know, how do you deal with pressure? How do you deal with people you don't like? So that's part of what you would write. I like to make lists. I kept trying to prepare for these behavioral questions. There's so many of them. My brain's like a sieve. I can't remember all that stuff. And I wanted to be able to answer it without freaking out, not babble on and not answer the question, right? So I had been working on my resume. You have to rezhuzh it for all your different jobs that you're going to do and make sure you have something personal that relates to the job description when you're doing a cover letter. So I was keeping different project information so I could relay back to it quickly. I used my one-on-ones, and my goal setting included behavior. One section was what you did for your goals, and the other section was behavioral feedback. So I used that as some of my information. I was putting notes along with the different projects. This was helping remember other pieces. So you can create a list of, I'm saying projects, I'm in IT, everything's a project, depending on how you work, section it on those different things the last year. Start with that, or the last 6 months or whatever. Go through your one-on-ones if you do them, your goal setting, look through and see, was there anything big that was going on? And just for all these key items that you did, like your project that you worked on, it lasted 3 months. It was supposed to last 6. So it went early. You had a great team, or you had a sub team. You don't want to say that, but were there any difficult issues around that project? How were they improved? Did you directly improve them, or were you part of that improvement? You don't have to novella everything. Just put key points in there and then just start practicing a couple of the questions and see from these different questions. Oh yeah, that one that I just wrote down, that relates to this question. Oh, I could use it for this one too. And you can just start keeping notes on that. You can tag it. I put this in Notepad, and in hindsight, I actually might move them to a spreadsheet because then you can further break it down into the different situations. So once you've got this in this format, then you can quickly jump to those memories of what you wrote down recently when you're doing an interview. So they'll ask you, tell me about a time you had a project and you had a difficult coworker. How did you deal with that? I remember that because I wrote that down last week. Don't tell them that. And if you have multiple instances of the different projects, then you'll be able to tell different stories instead of saying the same one over and over again, which is still fine if you do that. But if you have more scenarios that you can call back, then even better. Unless the instances, like you have, like, they ask you, tell me about a time you had a difficult situation. Oh yeah, I got another story for you. That might be a red flag. But in general, if you can find some different situations and note them down, keep them in there, practice with them, it made me feel a lot more calm going into the interview. Not 100%, because I'm a nervous Nelly, but it did help a lot. I felt more prepared when they asked a question. I didn't have any situations where I didn't have something I could call on. I had a lot of project stuff that I wrote down. As long as you do that, I think you'll have a much better chance of going through the interview and being at the same level or rising above your competitors that are also vying for that job. And personality, remember, show yourself through. They don't know who you are. You don't know them. So just be you. Try to let your personality shine through. Show them that you get along. You can do this job. Here's why. And that was the biggie. If you can keep that list and going forward, even if you're not job interviewing, if you're done doing your job interviews for a while, like me, I'm going to move my stuff to a spreadsheet and keep it up to date. And also, as an aside, if you want extra help, ChatGPT is wonderful with this. I use ChatGPT to structure it a little bit better. I didn't always use that wording because I don't talk like that, but some of it was good to have it rephrased and think about it. That is it. Write your list, smile, get a good night's sleep, and then just be, get in there and do what you can. I know it is stressful, but to like throw an ick out there, as long as you walk in there or virtually walk in there, you know what I mean? As long as you go in doing the best you can and you feel when you came out that you did that, that's it. That's beyond you, right? So go try that list. Let me know what you think. Yeah, give it a shot. Let me know in the comments if you use this, if it helps you, if you have any other tips on how you kind of de-stress and get ready for your interview, any other prep things that you do. You know what I'd love to hear? What's your most interesting question that you've gotten in an interview, and how did you handle it? I did have an interview where they were asking me what my hobbies were, and that threw me because I wasn't expecting that, and I was kind of like, well, it's none of your business. I'm coming here to work. I did not say that. I answered, but that I flubbed a little bit because it threw me off. So that to me was an interesting question. And it was, I don't know, a little weird. But whatever your interesting question is, I'm here to see it, comment it, let me know. And also, I'm trying to make these videos a little shorter. So I've split this out. There's another video I'm going to release about practicing with AI for interviewing, which I think that's a lot of fun. I did that as well. So yeah, let me know if the smaller time frame is good or if I can cut it down to a minute. I'll be super speedy talking. I appreciate you taking the time to watch. I hope this helps you. I really do. I hope you're able to get in there, be as calm as possible, and you get the job. Be be confident, be calm. I will see you next time, and I look forward to reading your comments. Thank you. Bye. Moin, moin.